Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Kingdoms. I have a surprise for you. Check this out. Look at that view. Is that not gorgeous? I built this between episodes. Same style as the other two buildings, just a little bit different. I also came up with a banner design for Solas that I want to show you as well. I think it's absolutely perfect for the City of Light. This is what it looks like right here. It's actually a very simple banner. You don't need any special stuff for it, just dyes and light blue wool. But it's basically a light blue banner with a yellow border, the little squiggly thingies at the bottom, and then a diamond and the cross and the X. And pretty easy, but I think it's absolutely perfect for the City of Light. I think that's a absolutely super fitting banner. It fits very, very well. So this building, not a whole lot to say about it. It's just another building on the other side of the street from these ones. I think to kind of get the feel of the city, we needed a building over here, so I built this between episodes. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do a second building episode, a house building episode in here. I didn't want to do two of them in a row, so I decided to build this off camera. But I think you really get kind of a feel now for how the city's going to feel, especially when you're, across the way and you can see this. I think it's really kind of starting to come together. What I want to do in today's episode is I want to start working out kind of a wall design for Solas, because we know we're going to have a big wall that kind of crosses, and it's going to kind of come along here, and I don't know if it's going to go up this hill or if it's going to be along the riverfront. Either way, we're going to have a big wall, and we're going to have to work that out. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hop into a creative testing world, and we'll see what we can come up with, because it'll be easier to kind of work out the design in survival or in creative, and then we'll actually build it here in survival. So let me hop over to a creative world, and I'll be there in just a sec. Alright guys, I am back, and we've kind of got our block palette for Solas here laid out. I've also added light blue stained clay. I haven't found a mesa yet, but I know I can find one if I need the clay badly. This is the creative testing world for this area. This is just kind of where I did the texture pack. You may remember that was a couple episodes ago. Kind of worked out a little bit of the barn here, and then this was kind of where I was working out ideas for the Ender, and then this is where I was originally working out ideas for Solas, although at the time it was not planned to be the City of Light. It was just planned to be kind of a gothic city, and when the idea finally struck me to make it the City of Light and use a lot of light materials and stuff, that's where it really kind of came together. And we'll be doing some of this as well with these trapdoors as kind of like drains. I think that'll look really good. But anyway, let's see what we can work out here for a wall design. Now, we're gonna need stairs and slabs, because if you look at Gothic architecture, there's a lot of kind of pointy arches, I guess would be the way to put it. So, for example, there's a lot of different types of arches out there, right? So you've got like your basic, kind of gradual arch, something like this, right? Just a real simple arch. For a better example, we can make it 5 wide, and then, it kind of comes up, and then it kind of slopes over a little bit, and then maybe here it kind of slopes. You got your real gradual arch. That's not how Gothic architecture is. Gothic architecture is much more pointed, if you will. So it might be something like, hey, even that's not a good example. It kind of grows. How do I explain it? It gets taller, and then as it kind of goes inwards, it kind of gets a little shorter. So it might be more like that, but kind of on the outside, I guess. That's a little better. Something kind of like this, I guess. Even that's not really getting the shape right. If you've seen Hermitcraft and you've seen the entrance to the Dwarven base, that's a very kind of gothic style arch right there. So anyway, what I want to do is I want to work out kind of our wall design here. And I think in order to get the shape right, we're going to need 5 spaces between each wall segment. So basically each wall section will be 7 spaces long. So let's kind of lay out like a 5x7 area here. And we'll go up 4, and then over 1, up 3, over 1, up 2, and like that. And that's good, except it's not. Let's try maybe that. Is that a little better? That's a little better. It's kind of hard to get the shape right in Minecraft, but I think we can do it. I'm almost worried that we're gonna have to build at a massive scale. Okay, let me see what I can work out. All right, guys, I am back, and I think I got it. I think this will work. The problem is that right here, these are going to be kind of alternating pillars, but I think it will still look okay. I think it'll still look okay if we do something like this. There, and then here. So this is kind of our wall design, sort of, kind of, if that makes any sense. Let's see, down. That's a stair, and then this would be a pillar that goes all the way down to the ground. So our wall would basically be like this, and it would just repeat over and over and over again. Then behind the wall, we can lay down, I'm thinking polished diorite. Like so. Oop. Something kind of like this. So it'll be this is going to end up being a really big wall in order to get the height that we need. But we'll do something kind of like that, and we'll probably cheat and not fill the whole thing in, because this is more about the feel than anything else. But the goal here is to get something kind of like this. That would go away. And what we'd probably do, honestly, is like right about here, I'd probably put stairs, maybe there, and then this would be like our wall level, right? This would be like the walkway level right here. So we'd essentially have like these crenellations that would be formed from this. And I'm thinking we'd have like birch slabs along here. And this would be like the actual walking area, right? So it'd look something like this. You'd be able to stand up here and kind of look out. And I think that looks good. I'm kind of looking at these stairs, though, and I'm not really loving that. But at the same time, it almost has to be stone brick there. Yeah, it kind of has to be. That's okay, though. And then maybe what we can do to add some detail is put some like birch stairs kind of coming up like this along this area. How high did that go? Up to here? And I think to 4. Right? So to be something... not loving the birch stairs. Okay, so let's take those away. I do like the diorite backdrop. Maybe what we do instead is something real simple, like this. And then let's grab some cobblestone walls, not mossy. There we go. Grab some cobblestone walls and just kind of put those in. Maybe like this. As braces. Or even, here's a thought. What if we were to do something like that? That's kind of interesting. That blends too much. But we could do something like this. Potentially. Little stairs. That's not bad. That's not a bad look. I could maybe go with that. I think I like that a little bit better. So how did we... It was like this, and then slabs, something like that. How's that look from a distance? That's not bad. That's not too bad at all. It does need some color, though. So maybe what we can do is grab some glass panes. No, because this is just going to be basically empty in between there. Maybe we'll grab some packed ice and put it in. Ooh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Do we like that a little better? I think I do. So we get a little bit of the packed ice kind of hiding behind the cobblestone walls here, and then a little bit up there as well. Yeah, okay. That's not bad. Now this area right here needs something as well, so maybe we'll put in packed ice. Now that's not working. But maybe we put in some packed ice there too. Or the other option would be work in some birch right there. Let's maybe grab some birch fences. Maybe we do something like that. Just right here. And what do we think of that? Yeah, that's not bad. And then I think if that gets repeated over and over and over again, I think that's that's a pretty cool wall. I think that's good. It's going to be a pain to build, but it's good. Oh, man. This may be one of those situations where I'm biting off more than I can chew, considering how long this wall is going to be. Let's just kind of bring this out so we can get kind of a feel. Yeah, okay. I think that's good, though. Yeah, I think that's good. We can make that work. Now, we're going to have some issues when we need to turn the wall. But I think I can probably work around that. Now that we've got kind of our basic idea, our basic design, I think we'll be fine. And then for lighting, we will need to work out some lighting up here. So I'm thinking like every half slabs. Let's see. How would we do lighting here? What if we were to make that? Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Although, then again, if I retexture the glowstone so it doesn't look so bad, that might be an option. I would like to work some lighting into here, though. Preferably... Oh, that might work. It's not really visible, but it does shed some light. The alternative, of course, would be to lower the middle of this down, like so. But I think that would look weird. I don't think I would like that. Let's see. Maybe we can go... Maybe we could just stick... Can we stick torches on the back? No, because those are stairs. Here's a thought. Can we put regular bricks there? Yup, that still has the same feel. And then we could take torches and stick those back here like that. And that will give us light. And that should give us enough light as well. Since these are only spaced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks apart. So I think that'll work. I think we've got ourselves a pretty good wall design. Let's jump back over into the actual world and try it out. Alright guys, I am back, and the wall looks good. It looks good. Obviously, it's not even close to done. We're gonna need a much bigger wall than that. But it looks good, and it fits, and I think it gets the job done. Now, we need to work out... Ooh, also, our wheat field, also looking very good. And looks like I have a lot of seeds I can harvest and add to that. But that's another between episodes project. So, what I want to do here is I need to find a way to kind of turn corners with the wall. And I think the way that we're going to do that is basically with like towers of some sort. I think that probably makes the most sense. We'll need a tower that's at least 5 wide. Realistically, like a 7x7 tower, I think is probably going to be our best bet. We're going to need to use the same kind of color palette. And essentially it needs to be large enough that it can just kind of absorb the wall. So like a 7x7. A 7x7 tower. Man, I'm yawning. It's a little late apparently. Anyway, so let's kind of lay that out. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe even like a 9x9 tower, honestly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do we want to go a 7x7 or do we want to go a 9x9? Because the wall will be being absorbed into this. And 9x9 gives us a lot more room for, you know, depth and playing with stuff like that. I'm thinking we make the towers 9x9. Those are going to be some really big towers, though. But that's okay. It's fine. So I'm thinking we're going to go square towers. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we'll just kind of connect those up. So this will be a tower right here so that we can turn. Now, do we want to turn? It doesn't really make sense to turn the wall unless we're really going to turn, like, for an extended distance. Because right here, this isn't really anything we would turn. Man, I'm yawning again. This is terrible. Right here, I don't know how we would actually turn, like why we would actually turn the wall. Maybe we'll just have the wall go all the way across the water and up and over. That wouldn't necessarily be all bad. Oh, and I did this side of it as well. It's just identical on both sides. I think it would still make sense to have a tower here. Well, maybe not, because then we're kind of obstructing this, I'm kind of leaning towards having the tower go all the way across, honestly. I think that might be better. Or not the tower, the wall, I should say. So the wall would go all the way across the water to over here-ish, give or take, somewhere around here. And then we'd have a tower, and it would loop back this way. This area needs to be flattened. Probably will bring this terrain up to kind of match everything else, but this definitely needs to be... I'm not liking this this depression right here, this little hole. Like, yeah, that's not doing it for me. So I think we'll probably essentially fill in this area and just bring it up so it's a more consistent elevation, kind of going across the board. I think that makes a lot of sense to me. Or maybe we'll have it go down a little bit, but not as drastically as it does now. And then that wall will have to come all the way across, over, and back that way until I think there's an ocean over here, isn't there? Let's see. Yeah, we've got this big lake here. So we could basically bring the wall over until it hits the lake. And what's over there? Oh, that was a bad throw. I might land on top of another building. Yep, called it. Okay, so over here, let's just get up. There we go. So over here we've got, looks like ocean as well back there. So this, I think I'm going to do away with. This hill right here. We'll bring this wall over and across until maybe right about here or so. And then this will all be city behind it. That makes a lot of sense to me. Now, do we want to turn the wall? Or do we want to just bring it? I think we want to bring it all the way across, and I'll flatten this a bit right in here. Especially since this is gonna, I kind of want this to go away anyway, to create a bit more separation. Ugh. Man, the yawns are killing me today. Sorry guys, it's very late and I'm very tired. But anyway, I think I want to level this to create more separation between Annona and Solas. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But I think we got a really good start. We've got a wall design kind of nailed down. I'm not going to build most of it on camera for obvious reasons. It's just a repeating pattern over and over again. Maybe we'll work out the tower design together once we get to the point where we are actually doing a tower. But for now, I think that is going to do it for today's episode, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.